Hi there, this is Ishia Lynn of womenstent.org, and welcome. It's Equinox. It's very exciting. It's wonderful. It's renewal. This is the first day of spring. We're stepping into a new season. So I'm going to talk today a little bit about this particular equinox and why it's kind of unique. And every equinox, every new day is unique and a new opportunity to make new choices, to grow, to learn, to let go. And I'm going to share some possibilities for some rituals you can do to participate in the energetics of this all. I've got some sun beaming in, and I actually kind of like it because equinox is so much about the dark and light, so I'm just going to leave it. It's pretty cool, huh? So we've got Devi here with the 2 candles lit for the balancing. So equinox is a time where the celestial energies of earth and sun line up, where the light and dark is equal. And so, in the winters, it's a darker time. The summer, it's bright. So the equinox times, spring and fall equinox, is when everything balances. And in agricultural societies where the wheel of the year was practiced often, and the Celtic traditions, these were times when we paid attention to life cycles in the earth and how the growing seasons changed, because our lives really depended on it. These days we imagine that our lives don't depend on it much, but I actually still think they do. But we live a little disconnected now from the earth, and there's so many of us now remembering to come home to our bodies and the interconnectivity to the earth, and so many people waking up to remember this and to live in this way, this old new way, and in a new way that embraces what's new now for new human beings, because it's different now on the planet than it was 1,000 years ago. We have new things to consider and new ways to grow and evolve. So what is equinox? This is the time we're crossing through out of winter into this beautiful blessing of spring. The light is returning. But before it fully returns, we go through the threshold of equinox, where things, the balancing of the light and dark, and what that means to us as personal growth seekers, as practitioners. It's this moment. It's just a pause in the dance of balance. It's like, so we put an egg on equinox straight up. It'll pause for a moment. It'll have this day where it actually gets to balance. It's like, I can do this. But what it does to our psyche, to the energetics, is that it can show us where we're out of balance, or it can show us the beauty and the power of the duality. And we live in a dualistic world, so there's all of it. We tend to want to be happy all the time, but we can't be. We must experience the sadness, the grief, the grit, the anger. It's part of being human, and it's part of what defines happiness and joy. So some of these rituals that we do are about embodying the duality of looking from one side, that where our contractions, our anger, our darkness, our shadow experiences, the winter, and then what is our spring? What's the new beginning we're moving into? And taking the embodiment and looking over to the other side, and that pause, that ritual act of connecting with the energetics of the duality can really help to illuminate some personal growth and some new ideas. Equinox is a threshold where we can look out. What might happen next? What do we want to set in motion next? So this particular equinox has a certain charge to it because it is partnered with the full moon, which is no small thing. I mean, some of us might just go along our day as if nothing's happening, but those of us who are sensitive and working in these worlds of love and light and practice will notice that something's a little more intense, right? So we have this, they call it the super moon, and it's the worm moon. Wormies. And this worm moon brings the energy of illuminated groundedness, the illumination of earth. So if you think about worms, they're digging deep into the earth, they fertilize and aerate the earth. And so we've got this super moon, worm moon, amplifying our equinox experience. The full moons amplify. And this is unique. You know, the cycles of the seasons and the cycles of the moon are always interacting, but every once in a while they collide, and you know, here we are in one of those. And this particular combination won't be happening again for 30 years. That's pretty cool. So how can we embrace it? Well, the supercharged moon is illuminating, and full moons are amplifiers, so it's amplifying this relationship between dualities, right? This what's coming into balance. So I've noticed that there's different frequencies in all of our lives. Lately, I've been in a frequency of real focus and just in this work mode. I've had some friends and sisters who are, you know, have been really working family and lots of challenges and having a hard time. So I've been noticing that this moon and this equinox is drawing out and up what is out of balance, what hasn't been in the expressive experience. So some of those women are getting a nice relaxation and experiencing some inner peace to balance out the dark, the hard, dark winter months and what has been occurring. And on my end, I've been experiencing the last couple of days some really intense emotions and some grief and some letting go that's been overdue. And so the full moon has kind of pulled it up out of the earth. So if you think about that worm moon, and one, it's illuminating, but it's also aerating and digging up. The worms kind of dig up the soil. And this can be experienced really intensely, but if you think about that aerating and that digging up, it's so good for the soil. It's so good for the growth of the plants. So what I would say is on this equinox and this full moon, just hang in there, because what's happening right now energetically and with the frequencies of what's coming into balance and the moon illuminating and digging up is actually just going to support you on your path ahead into spring, into this new beginning. So equinoxes are just a profound moment, and they're as profound and amazing as you let it be. It's the fertility cycle that's just waking up on Earth. It's the Earth's birthday, really. It's like, whoa! So the Earth is waking up, and on the quarters and cross quarters, which this equinox is a quarter, the Earth's cycle is broken up into 4 quarters and 4 cross quarters. So we have these 8 days during the course of the year to pause and consider the relationship of the stars and the moon and the seasons, and what frequencies are here for us, and what personal growth is possible. So in our personal evolution, what's possible with this equinox and full moon? Well, this is a restart. We're coming out of winter's cave. We've been walking out from Imbolc February 1st and kind of slowly feeling spring coming, and now it's here. And so the reset button of coming back to 0 point, you know, just feeling that frequency of possibility, that frequency of wholeness, and kind of resetting the mind, the emotions, the body to step forward. First actions of this new beginning. So the equinox is a gateway, and any kind of ritual or ceremony you do is the ritual act is setting something in motion that you want to embrace these energies that's happening with the full moon and equinox. And you're doing this ritual act to commune with these energies and say, I want to participate. I want to kind of put my stake in the ground here and say, I'm here. I'm present for this new beginning. So what are some ways to do that, to really honor the new frequency of light that's about to occur now? So we've come to balance, and after equinox it's like light, more light, more light. So there's a whole new frequency of light, and each new year, each new spring equinox, there's another opportunity of frequency that happens, that's available to us. So how can you really participate and receive this new frequency of light? Well, it's finding this time to find harmony with what's happening. And anytime we're too busy to acknowledge what's happening in the earth and the stars, we're going to feel a disharmony. So the way to find harmony with what's going on is finding time to stop and pause, to get out on the earth. So I would suggest, you can make an altar for the new beginning. Start bringing some beautiful flowers in, and just illuminating your room, and a little table with flowers, eggs, rabbits, all of these images of spring, of new beginnings, of the fertile goddess. All of the ways that, we're coming out of that dark hermitage of winter and celebrating life. And I want to invite you to slowly unfold into spring and to find these rituals that harmonize you with the changes and the light now. Because if you react to it, if you react like, spring, and you can feel it stirring in your body, what can happen is that we blow our nervous systems out. So we jump in too fast, and then we speed up too quickly with the excitement of the new light and new energy, and we can burn out quickly. We just get so inspired. So even though it's warmer, bring an extra coat, because we still have a little bit of a chill. It's the beginning of spring. You still make sure that you're, paying attention to listening and being with the earth, and just kind of a due diligence with that practice. So some of the earth rituals that I love to do are just going on the earth and laying my belly to the earth in a spot that might not be too wet from the snow or rain, and really breathing belly to earth. It's a wonderful alchemy at this time of year. You're coming out of the cave and connecting with the new frequency of life force that's percolating inside the earth, that's starting to bring to life the new green beings. So we're going to start having a whole new frequency to live with and harmonize with. That's the plants. So all winter that was stark, we were just alone. Now we have all this life force rising up here on the northern hemisphere, and we're just like, oh my goodness, it's like these beautiful energetic friends filling us up. So acknowledge the plants, get outside, do some gardening, take a walk, lay on the earth. If you've been practicing with me, get out and do your dances on the earth. Get barefoot. Breathe up the electromagnetic immune support currents of the earth. So important. This time of year of entering spring is all about the liver. We really want to cleanse and clear the liver. This is dandelion is wonderful for this. The dandelion flowers start rising up, and they're wonderful medicine for this time. If you know your plants and you know how to forage, the yellow docks and the mints and the dandelion leaves, wonderful to make some wild crafted pesto. But make sure you know the plants. If you need support in that, let's do a private session and we can talk about that. Make sure you make your altar, and the sun, this glorious sun energy is coming into the the sun energy of Aries, and this is a warrior fire spiritual energy that you're going to start going to feel the sun brighten and call you forth, and call forth that warrior, that wild woman, that wild man that's like, I want this, I'm going after it, right? So start to get ready for that Aries intensity, and give yourself a few days here for some nurturing in this new spring light. Imagine you're the new crocus or violet peeking up like, hello. And some beautiful equinox rituals. Again, make your altar, get on the earth. Take a equinox bath, and that might be some Epsom salts with some, you can put oats inside of a sock and squeeze it in, and it makes like a nice milky water, and maybe just like 1 or 2 drops of lavender. When you use essential oils, you want to make sure that you use the tiniest bit and you put it in oil, a carrier oil, and then put it in the bath with the salts. You don't want to just put a drop in alone, because that will end up sticking to your skin and actually be hard on the liver. So make sure you mix it with the salts and a carrier oil, and just 1 or 2 drops, so it really infuses into the water. But that balance of the salts with the oats and the floral, if you don't want to use essential oils, use actual, put some lavender plants into the oats, some lavender flowers into the oats in the sock, and just squeeze it. It's really nice. But it makes a very soothing, calming, grounding. You really want to work with grounding energies over this equinox threshold and this full moon. That worm moon is really calling you into that grounding, like digging into the earth, getting in there and just really breathing deep into your earth body, and just finding that grounded energy before you rise up. And so some embodiment exercises would be, you can work with the tree pose, that rooting down to rise up. Anything that's going to help you root to rise, embody that, the squatting and then rising up into the chi generating spine motion. Wonderful practice for right now. And so we're working on staying grounded in this energies of winter gifts, and how to really rise up. There's a song that came through years ago, so we are the seed, the root, and the bloom. We are wild wisdom dancing. We are the seed, the root, the bloom. We are wild wisdom dancing. We are the seed, the root, the bloom. We are wild wisdom dancing. So remember, the earth is always a mirror for us. She's reflecting a deep intelligence. This is macrocosm of the microcosm of our inner experience. So the seeds are in the earth, and they're starting to grow their roots. They're starting to peek their heads up. So we are the seed and we are the roots, and we really want to grow that deep connection with earth, the things that bring stability into our lives as we lengthen and reach into this new season of light, to participate in this new frequency. But I encourage you not to just rise up and fly away into this new frequency. You've intended to come into this beautiful body that you are inhabiting. Ground in first. So when you think of what's balancing coming into the light, what will ground you? What did winter teach you to stay grounded with? And what parts of winter killed off, really things that you had to let go of to become new, to be able to step into this frequency now of equinox. And there's no randomness in this. The equinox and this full moon, the worm moon, learning from the worms, learning from how soil regenerates. How does your body regenerate in this duality? What's the perfect balancing of light and grounding? you need to move forward, to have a beautiful journey into your spring. So I ask you to take time for that. I tell you that just something simple as a walk, a dance in nature, a bath, making your altars, and cleaning your home, getting organized in your house, in your room, in your office, to kind of start fresh. Take the next couple days to do this, and then do some journaling about some of these questions. What is grounding? What will help me illuminate and widen into the harmony of this new light? What is the contraction element in my life? What's the expansion? How do they inform each other? Take time to embody it and listen. Listen to your earth body. Go outside and listen to the earth. These are two deep, deep intelligences that you have access to. Gnosis, this direct revelation. Trust the wisdom that lives within you. Trust your power, your inner power to know. If you need guidance finding your inner power, your inner voice, we'll set up a consult. If you want a shamanic reading and you just want to hear some ways that your life can unfold and be supported right now, I am here for you. I'm here to cheer you on your rituals and the inspired life you're inspired to have. I'm also here to teach you a few tools to have that for yourself, and how to deepen into your creativity, deepen into your dance, your creative expression, because that's what makes life so rich and empowered. So make your altars, have a wonderful time. If you need support, find me. Enjoy this equinox, enjoy some deep liver care, and sign up for my website, womenstent.org. I send out a newsletter with the access code for the free new moons, rituals and teachings, and I'm going to be sending one out later today with a cleanse drink. Wonderful to do some new cleansing experiences in your eating habits in this early spring, to help the liver and gallbladder really cleanse from the sluggishness of winter as she starts to speed up. Eating more vegetables, having a break from meat for a couple days is wonderful. But this drink is going to be awesome. Makes you glow. Can you tell? All right, my dears. I hope this was helpful. I really am so excited for you to experience this beautiful portal of equinox, full moon. Be gentle with the emotions. It can be a really emotional time. The amplification of such an intense lunar weave with the equinox, okay? So be gentle with yourself. That's why the water, the baths are so helpful. The oat bath is a wonderful way to ground and snuggle in to your earth while you're rising and transformating into this new experience of light, this new transmission, and this gateway, this frequency. So here we go, rising up as we root. Bye for now. Oh, I almost forgot. Like it if you like it, and subscribe, because I'm going to be coming back around more, and it's wonderful to gather the community. Okay, we'll see you soon.